Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Anna, and today I'm going to be talking about a show I've been looking forward to watching called Ramyun and Chill, and it's an international Korean dating show brought to you by DK TV. And I'm very excited to talk about this, and let's get started. And before we actually get into the first episode, I just want to say to Denny and David, I'm so happy for you guys. You guys' show that you've been working towards for a while has finally been produced, and all of us are able to watch it. I'm very happy for you guys, and yeah, that's all I wanted to say. But moving on to the first episode that I've finished watching. So the opening scene is, I guess, the typical Korean dating show scene where we see the girls with their luggage, and they don't show the face. They don't reveal the face until a little bit later, whatever, when they're finally there. And we meet the 5 contestants. I don't know if you call them that, but I guess the 5 female cast. And the first one we meet is Erika, and she's half German and Congolese, and she kind of seems to be a little timid, a little shy, maybe because she's the first one there and she didn't really know what to do. But yeah, she's half German and Congolese, and I'm Congolese too, so I was like, yay, an African rep. And then the second person with me is Tiffany, and usually in the previous shows that I watched, like Heart Signal and other, I think, Singles Inferno, they usually wait for those awkwardness in terms of how the people, how they interact with each other. So if Erika was the first person, they would wait a little bit to see how awkward she's gonna be. What is she gonna do? She's gonna I don't know, try to talk to herself, and then after that they will let the next person come in, which sometimes it's a guy or a girl. And then they would wait for their interaction and see how they interact. But it's always this awkward silence, hi, my name is this, and then they can't reveal that much information, so it's kind of what do you talk about? But yeah, and then Tiffany, she's from New York. I don't know what part of Asia she's from though, but she's from New York. And then we have Bella, our dark-skinned African queen, I guess you call her, from Rwanda. And that's pretty exciting because we really don't have a lot of dark-skinned women, in media. And talking about this is a Korean international dating show, so it's rare to have a dark-skinned African girl. So I'm very happy that they have her. And then Sonia, she's from Texas, and she says she likes art, and then she wants a guy that could make her laugh. And yes, girl, I definitely agree. A guy that could make you laugh is amazing. It will be amazing. And then the last girl we have is Sabrina. She's the youngest. She's 20 years old, and she's Malaysian and Chinese. And I really loved her outfit. Her outfit was really cute. She had on this little white boots, and I think it was a red dress. I think it was really cute. It was really cute. And then after that, I don't think they even hesitate. They bring on the 4 guys. So there's 5 girls, and then there's 4 guys in the opening scene. Kyo Jun, I'm gonna call him KJ from now on. He comes in first, and then the girls start doing the little whispering shoo, this guy's whatever. So they start, he comes in and he introduces himself. My name is this, blah blah blah. And then the girls will be like, oh, his English is very good, yeah. And then we have Kim and Jay. He comes in, and he said, I think he has a master's degree in robotics and AI, and he seems to be very shy. I feel he came in, he was already crunching up and stuff, and he would just let me just move. Let me just do my introduction really fast. He seemed to be very shy. And then we have the guy number 3, Chan Yoon, and he seems to be very sweet and chill. I don't think he talked a lot in the first. And then we have Don Kim, and he comes in with sunglasses on. My man, how are you gonna come in with sunglasses on when this is your first impression? This is how the girl's gonna view you as. And he's from California, and he's a master's student working in marketing. And he said he wants to make good memories and have a good time. But I was like, my man, how are you gonna come in with glasses? I need to see your eyes. I don't know, when people that's my first impression of them. I feel I tend to see them as them being cocky or something, you know, even if they might have, you know, a good reason as to why they have glasses on in their first meeting of someone. I don't know, that's my view. I'm like, oh, like, does he think he's all that or something, or what is he trying to hide, this and that. But so the guys, they all have like different English levels. Some of them are really good at English, and then some of them are not, and you could tell when they first, you know, speak it and stuff. And then what they call it, the girls are, they're not, I don't think, some of them have a good level of Korean, and then some of them, they don't really speak Korean like that, but they're all there, you know. And I think that's the most interesting part of this show, just seeing how, if, I guess my biggest question will be, is like, is language barrier like a big problem in terms of when it comes to dating? Like, is it a big issue, you know? So I think we're gonna be able to see that on both sides, the Korean side, and also that not being able to communicate in English. Like, is that gonna be a big issue? And I really love that this show is gonna bring that out, I feel like. So then I think David is the one that's mainly doing the hosting, like the asking the questions and giving direction and all of that. So he asked, he asked the guys to basically vote, and they do it in a very harsh way. Oh my god, they made the girls line up, and then they told the guys to go behind the girl that you liked based on first impressions. And what are the first impressions? It's just basically their name, their physical look. So you don't have a whole lot to go by, and probably maybe their vibe, maybe you could go by that, but like, you don't really know how a person is until you actually, you know, get to know them. But yeah, that's the way they did it, and I was like, oh my god. Imagine if I was there and no one picked me. I would have been so sad. I've been so freaking sad. It's because it's like, it's in the open. It's like you get embarrassed and you're like, damn, like no one really liked me. Like, did I say something that was bad, or is it because they don't like the way I look? You know, you have all this, you know, different crazy thoughts in your head. But yeah, they made them do that in open. I was like, oh my god, because other shows like, you know, Singles Inferno and all that, they made them vote like kind of privately, I guess. But this one, it was just out there, and I was like, okay. I really want to know, DK TV, why did you guys do that? I really want to know, why did you guys make them vote like in a harsh way, I guess. And so they do the voting, and then the two girls who didn't get picked was Sonia and Sabrina. And I was actually surprised with Sabrina not getting picked. I don't know if some of you guys are watching this. I don't know if you ever watched, you know, Singles Inferno. I keep mentioning because that's one of a dating show that I've watched. But she reminds me of like Song Jia. You know, Song Jia was like loved by everyone. She has this like charms that could just pull on any guy. Like, it doesn't matter, like every guy will go for her. And that's what I thought. You know, I was like, oh man, they're gonna definitely go for her. But the girl that got the most votes was actually Tiffany, and I feel like I understand why the two guys that went for her. But yeah, those are the two girls who didn't get picked by anyone, and I was like, oh, it's sad. But you know what you gotta do? You gotta shake it off, because that is just first impression. You know, things can change, so you know, you can just keep it moving. And also, I thought the guys were gonna be shy towards each other, but they were not. They looked like they were comfortable, like they knew each other before and stuff like that. But yeah, and then when I was watching the first episode, I was thinking, are they allowed to have their phones? You know, are they not allowed to? You know, how long are they not allowed to have their phones and stuff? But yeah, we kind of start, you know, getting to see more of, you know, the way they react to each other. You could see which person, I guess, is kind of falling towards another person. And the first one that I noticed was Kyo-jun. He already picked Tiffany when they did the voting thing, and then I noticed that like as soon as Tiffany, like, she says that she wants water, guess who gets up? KJ gets up. He's like, I got you. He gets up, and then I guess you could see how considerate he is, because he was also getting up to make the ramyun and, like, you know, trying to be kind. He had this whole entire gentleman vibe to him, and I was like, okay, I feel like all those girls are gonna be voting for you wherever, you know, doing a lot of that. And yeah, I was like, okay, that's really nice of him, like, for him to take that kind of charge and stuff. And then the other thing that I want to talk about is the girls then are allowed to pick the guys for, you know, a first date. And guess who got picked the most? It's KJ. Wow, okay, not surprised. But yeah, he gets picked by Tiffany, Bella, and Sabrina. They all picked him, and I think I don't remember how the scene went, but Sabrina, I think, was versus Tiffany or whatever. Oh, she wanted to pick Dan. Girl, if you wanted to pick Dan, why didn't you pick him? Because nobody picked him. Like, are you freaking kidding me? So, like, you know, he could have gone on a date with you, and you guys could have gotten to know each other. Like, you could. Why didn't you go with your gut feeling, girl? Oh my God. So, but yeah, Dan is the only one who doesn't get picked, and I'm just like, I understand why he didn't get picked, because I feel like he just was. He didn't do too much, but I feel like he was doing too much at the same time, like to make a good impression and stuff like that. But yeah, I was like, oh my God. And then Sonia picks Minjae, and then Erika picks Chan, and then we get to see, you know, their little dates. So first, Erika and Chan's date. And the first thing I noticed was the language barrier. His English is not, you know, up there, and then Erika's Korean is also not up there. So it was kind of like they had to use the Papago app, whatever that we're using to kind of like talk to each other. But I feel like that's really hard to do though. It's like, especially on a date, it's like there's like certain delays where you're just like, oh my God, like how do we fight through this? But you could definitely still, you know, fight through it or whatever. And then we see Sonia and Minjae's date, and they seem like to get along with each other pretty well. They both like were trying their best in terms of, you know, speaking and all that, and trying to find things in common. I guess one thing they had in common was fashion. Both of them are into fashion, and Sonia seemed to like really like the way Minjae dresses up, and I'm like, okay. And then we also see KJ and the three girls, and we see Dan. Oh, KTV, you're messed up. Like, you're messed up for doing this. So they had Dan sit across the table from like KJ and the three girls' date. And I was like, you messed up for doing this. Like, how are you gonna do that to him? But it felt like, oh my God. And he's like, he didn't even know what to do either. He was just like walking around, like, you know. But it was sad. Like, say, yeah. So guess, so the person who gets picked when the girls get to pick, you know, the guys for the date, the most is KJ. Wow. Okay. Not surprised. But yeah, he gets picked by Tiffany, Bella, and Sabrina. They all picked him, and I think I don't remember how the scene went, but Sabrina, I think, was versus Tiffany or whatever. Oh, she wanted to pick Dan. Girl, if you wanted to pick Dan, why didn't you pick him? Because nobody picked him. Like, are you freaking kidding me? So, like, you know, he could have gone on a date with you, and you guys could have gotten to know each other. Like, why didn't you go with your gut feeling, girl? Oh my God. So, but yeah, Dan is the only one who doesn't get picked, and I'm just like, I understand why he didn't get picked, because I feel like he just was. He didn't do too much, but I feel like he was doing too much at the same time, like to make a good impression and stuff like that. But yeah, I was like, oh my God. And then Sonia picks Minjae, and then Erika picks Chan, and then we get to see, you know, their little dates. So first, Erika and Chan's date. And the first thing I noticed was the language barrier. His English is not, you know, up there, and then Erika's Korean is also not up there. So it was kind of like they had to use the Papago app, whatever that we're using to kind of like talk to each other. But I feel like that's really hard to do though. It's like, especially on a date, it's like there's like certain delays where you're just like, oh my God, like how do we fight through this? But you could definitely still, you know, fight through it or whatever. And then we see Sonia and Minjae's date, and they seem like to get along with each other pretty well. They both like were trying their best in terms of, you know, speaking and all that, and trying to find things in common. I guess one thing they had in common was fashion. Both of them are into fashion, and Sonia seemed to like really like the way Minjae dresses up, and I'm like, okay. And then we also see KJ and the three girls, and we see Dan. Oh, KTV, you're messed up. Like, you're messed up for doing this. So they had Dan sit across the table from like KJ and the three girls' date. And I was like, you messed up for doing this. Like, how are you gonna do that to him? But it felt like, oh my God. And he's like, he didn't even know what to do either. He was just like walking around, like, you know. Yeah, that was kind of messed up with that scene, but I guess it's for entertainment purposes, and it was just sad. So we see the day between what's his name, KJ, and then the three girls are all sitting down, and it definitely felt like more of like an interview. And I know it must have been hard for KJ to be in that spot because you have three girls and like they're all sort of interested in you, minus Sabrina, who just picked you. I don't know why she picked what. Sabrina, why did you pick KJ? Oh my god, why did you pick KJ if you didn't really, like, you know, wasn't that into him and stuff? But anyways, yeah, so it felt kind of more like an interview, and I kind of noticed that like KJ really like kind of moved towards like Bella and Tiffany. Like, for example, one thing I noticed that when he was asking questions towards her, he would be like, oh yeah, Tiffany, oh yeah, Bella, but he wouldn't be like Sabrina. Like, he wouldn't, I don't think he called out her name or whatever. So I was like, yeah, those two are definitely like not like gonna work out or whatever. So that was their scene. And then we see another scene where they're all like close to each other and stuff, and there was a question that was asked, like if they like, you know, K-pop and stuff, and it felt kind of weird. I was like, especially when I saw Bella's expression, she seemed like she liked K-pop, but then she hesitated. I don't know, you know how there is this like feeling like, you know, K-pop is for little girls, this and that. Like, I like K-pop. I'll listen to like some K-pop. So I mean, not like I like K-pop. There's like certain groups that I follow and stuff like that. But yeah, it's like it's a thing. Like sometimes you get ashamed upon because people look down upon it, especially like, you know, in the Black community or whatever. Like they don't really like why are you following those like Korean guys, you don't even understand what they're saying, or Korean girls, you don't understand what they're saying, this and that. Like a lot of stupid things that don't really make any sense. But yeah, I was like, was she trying to hide the fact that she didn't like K-pop, or she felt like kind of weird like being asked that question? But I guess my sister explained that like, oh, Bella doesn't like, she's not like into K-pop or anything like that. But yeah, I was like, I felt when that question was asked, if I felt like a little awkward, just because of the reactions. I know what's her name. I think Erika is into K-pop because this whole entire like the place that they're at right now. It's where like BTS filmed their BTS in the Soup. They rented the same place, so they're all there. And then Erika was pointing out, oh, that was Jimin's bed, like this and that. She'll point out stuff like that. Moving on to the next scene was the talent show. It was a talent show, and I thought this was a really great chance for everyone to kind of loosen up and just show kind of their, you know, their fun side, show like a different side to them that they haven't seen of each other. And KJ, man, you showed us your gentleman side and this and that, but you cannot continue that here. Like, I want to see you just loosen up and have a little fun, and he was not having it. He was like, I'm not doing any of that. I am going to sing my own ballad song, my own love song. And that's how he sang it. It was just like all serious and stuff. I'm like, oh my god. But anyways, that was his choice. And then we see Sonia. She's like, America's Got Talent got nothing on me. She came out with her little fire like trick. I don't know what kind of talent, what is that it's called, I don't know what it's called, but like she had like a fire ring, and she was doing a little, like, I don't know, little dances and stuff like that. And I was like, that's incredible. Like, that's hard to do. It seemed like, wow, like I would have been scared. Fire, like, no. Surrounding me, no, I would not do that. I was like, damn. But she really came out. She's like, you want talent? I got you. And she really came out. I was like, nah, that's how you do it. Not the guys. She didn't get picked, remember, in the first round, whatever. I feel like the guys are going to see a different, you know, perspective of her. They're going to see a different viewpoint. They're like, oh, wow, okay, I didn't know you had this side of you, whatever, you know. And then Dan does his talent, and then. You see, this is what I was saying. You do too much. You do too much. Well, why did you do 3 songs? And what were you trying to, like... what they call it, do an impression of RM from BTS. Like, why? I know it was just for the fun of it. I'm like, I don't know if it's the editing, but like, why did you do so many songs then? I shouldn't be yelling at him, but like, why did you do so many songs? But yeah, and then we saw Bella. She did her little rap. I was like, okay, girl, okay. And she wrote the lyrics too. I was like, oh, that's cool. I love that. She came out with her little I'm gonna show you guys what's, you know, talent. So yeah, and then the first episodes and the little talent show, the little party they had, and David announces that there's gonna be a new guy. A new guy comes in, and they don't really, everyone, you know, we see everyone's facial expression like a new guy, and we don't really get to see him. They just show a preview of like his feet and stuff like that, and I was like, okay. So that was how the first episode ended, and it was a really great episode. I really enjoyed it, and I'm really looking forward to see how couples are going to be forming, and you know what couples are not going to be forming that we thought they looked good together, but in reality they wouldn't be able to work out. And in terms of who would I have picked if I was there, I think I would have also picked KJ, and that just because he was like very nice, considerate, and he seemed like he wouldn't, you know, he'll be talking to everyone, you know. So that's who I would have picked. But I would have also, I guess after the talent show, I would have picked what's his name, Kim and Jae, or Chan did this little like I don't know if it's a piano, but he made like a song with like I don't know what the instrument is called, but it was like this little cute like piano kind of music stuff that he did. And then also Minjae, he danced to one of Psy's new song, and I was like, oh, he can't dance, but but it was still fun. Well, it's not that he can't dance, but he just can't, like, you know, the beat was just, it wasn't matching, okay? It was just not, it wasn't matching, but it was fun. I loved it. Like, he made everyone kind of like, you know, loosen up a little bit. So that was cool. But I'm pretty excited to watch the next episode that's going to be coming out, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.